Martyrdom of St. Cosman and St. Demian, and we had a spiritual revival for the last couple of days, and we will have the open day next Sunday to celebrate the second feast of Cosman and Demian in the month of December, which is the feast of the consecration of their church. So next Sunday will be an open day, and we've already been asking everybody if all families can try and come with one car, because the car park as well as the whole grass area will be full of toys for the kids and stalls for the open day. And the gala dinner which we had a couple of weeks ago, which was an amazing success. And in that gala dinner, I think we raised just over $200,000, $250,000, which was an amazing effort that will go towards us being able to start the building process. Abuna Timothy is the one that's been responsible for Sunday school, but Abuna Timothy today had to go cover another church. He is praying in Coleroy. He prayed in Coleroy to cover the service there because Abuna Basilius is covering in Singapore. But you will see that this year Sunday school has been growing. We are outgrowing all our rooms. The rooms are not big enough, and the kids, thank God, God is blessing them, and they're multiplying 30, 60 and 100, which is why we really need the new buildings very quickly so we can have more rooms. Abuna's really focused on the structure, focused on the curriculum, and obviously they're working with children, which all the servants have to keep updated. I think the challenge for next year is going to serve Sunday school while we are building. That is going to be a challenge that we have to try and overcome. Abuna Anthony is going to speak to us about all the youth services.
The youth services this year, thank God, they've been, God's blessed us with His grace. Throughout the week we have many services. So as when I was speaking before about the Thursday night, which is the new edition of the older youth meeting, but Tuesday night we after liturgy we have Bible study from 9 to 10. Then on Thursday night before the older youth meeting, before Living Water, we have Tasbaha, which has been greatly successful by the grace of God. Then on Friday night we have our youth meeting from 8:30 to 11, which we thank God again for His love towards us. That the meetings and all the youth services in the church have been really successful this year. We've ran fundraisers this year as well in regards to car washes, and we've got a few Bunnings barbecues coming up in the foreseeable future, very, very shortly actually. We had a yearly youth camp in October long weekend, which was, thank God again, greatly successful. And then Father Joshua, the youth trip to Egypt has been annual, which has been a highlight for not just for our church, but for the church around Sydney. It's been highly successful. Last year they went and were able to pray in the cathedral for Christmas, plus doing services around Egypt. So the group that went really had a good time, and I think, Abuna, you're leaving on the 19th, the 19th of January this year to do another service week. And the next thing I'll speak about is just the COCUS, the Coptic Orthodox Community Outreach Service, the homeless service that has been running from our parish for the last few years. Again, the service has seen tremendous growth and strength. The church has been serving, and the homeless have been serving us. It's been keeping a lot of our parishioners busy in regards to cooking and serving and doing other things around the church, which has been great. The food is picked up by the servants, we clean, we cook, and the meals are actually known to the homeless people to be great quality, so thank God. The service is run independently in regards to donations, so the church doesn't need to provide any funds for it. But next year we do have a bit of a challenge with the building, so please pray for us that we are able to work out the logistics and be able to find a solution that is great for the church and for the service.
Just very quickly covering off the financials for the church for the last financial year. Overall, our income for the year has been consistent with just probably a difference of about $100,000, but if we look between 2024 and 2025, it's pretty consistent with just a gap of $100,000. Obviously, we've had a big bump in the donations with tax deduction receipts for this year, which obviously reflects the amount of effort that we've been going through for fundraising. In terms of expenditure, our expenditure is a little bit higher this year, but only because we've obviously been working through our cost of construction. There's been a number of consultant fees and legal fees and a number of other things that we've been working through, but generally speaking, it's within range. Our remaining net profit before loss and after taxes is also consistent around just under the $400,000 mark, so it's been consistent. So as you can imagine, our expenses are going up because we're working through the construction, but naturally our revenue is not necessarily increasing in the same magnitude. Cash in bank, $4.5 million. Again, the difference between last year and this year is reflective of the gap in addition for last year. Our loans, down here, we've got 1.4 million, 1.7 million, sorry, Abuna. And overall equity is 7 million, so that just, from an accounting perspective, just increases year on year because of the values. Uncle Samir?
So, what's happening next? I think this is what the construction table looks like. There's an application that's now ready and is being lodged. They're just waiting for 1 or 2 consultant reports to be finalized, which is called an S4.56 application, which then finalize the CC, and they're already preparing the tender documentation. So we're hoping the tender will be out to tender sometime in January, so that hopefully we can choose a builder that will start building for us February at the latest March. So we should see some ground being turned early part of next year. One other big change that we've changed, obviously with the construction coming about, we've introduced a caretaker for the church, so that's a change last year. I'm sure all of you have met Mokhlis, who's been around the church. He's been an amazing introduction who's arrived. So Mokhlis is the new caretaker for the church, so there's always someone on grounds, and that will become very critical when we start dealing with builders and with trade people. He will be here to manage that whole process for us and with us. And that's pretty much everything. We have a new committee which will start on the 4th of December, so next week. The new committee starts, and I think we can thank the old committee for all their work, for all their care. It wasn't an easy year, it was a tough year with a lot of consultant reports and a lot of preparation for the building, but I think we're nearly there, and the struggle is going to be to survive during the building process, because a lot of the land is going to turn into a construction site, and only a small part will be left for us to continue to function, to continue to have Sunday school, to continue to have food, to continue to have gathering after the church. So let's all pray that we can get through this next year. It will be a tough year, but I'm sure we can get through it, because at the end of it, we'll have some beautiful buildings that will be able to serve us into the next, hopefully, I hope, 10 years. But if we keep growing the way we are, it might be a problem. But there's no more land, and there's no way the council is going to allow us to increase the size of what we're building. So maybe we should look at trying to find another site and maybe have another church somewhere in the northwest between here and Windsor, so that that church can accommodate the rest of the growth that's coming into Box Hill and Nelson and Oakville. All these areas continue to build, and our congregation continue to move into this area. Any questions, or anyone has any concerns or anything you want clarified? Yes, no. Well, Samir couldn't be here, he's the church secretary. That's why I did his slides, as well as Abuna Timothy, we did his slides. But I think any slower than this, you'll get upset with me, because the mill is waiting outside with the food. No questions? We can ask Abuna to dismiss us? Yes? Thank you, Abu.
Now long gone the Father, the grace of God, the Son, long gone and Savior Jesus Christ, come and gift, Holy Spirit with you all, go in peace with the peace of the Lord be with you all.